welcome to Friday Nights with Emma. Hope everybody's okay. Sorry, pardon the cattail. Link has decided at the last minute to come and join us, so he is... Come on, Link. Come here, buddy. Come on, come say hello. So Link is with us tonight. Yeah, exciting. Let's give everybody a minute to join. Give us a little thumbs up or a little heart to let us know you're there. Mikey is on camera again. See, Link is not being very helpful. Are you, Link? So yeah, give everybody a minute. Tonight we're doing the Batty. This is Baffa. So Becky Alexander Frost has very, very kindly put her pattern. And
Becky Alexander Frost is on.
Ah, hi Becky.
Katie is watching. Cheryl.
Hi Cheryl.
Sandy.
Hi Sandy.
Diane.
Hi Diane.
Caroline.
Hi Caroline.
Terry.
Oh, hi Terry.
Lori.
Oh, hi Laurie.
Annette.
Hi Annette. I'm just going to keep stitching.
Annette wonders where your hat is.
Oh, good point. I was going to put it on and I forgot.
Kate. Dawn.
Be right back.
Diamond. Lorna.
Hi Lorna.
Terry. Joan.
Yeah, that's better.
Gail.
Hi Gail.
Fran.
Hi Lorna. Hi everybody. I hope I didn't miss too many people.
Sonia.
Okay. Hi Sonia.
Margaret.
Hi Margaret. Yeah, I'm just adding some little finishing touches to my earlier Batty that I've done.
Lorraine.
Hi Lorraine.
Julie.
Hi Julie. Just putting some toes on this little guy. Right. Right, we'll start. Well, Link's already in the rice, so he's discovered that.
Elaine says it looks like a friendly bat.
Oh, thank you. I haven't finished sculpting him, and he's still got his back open, and I haven't got a face on him yet. But this is essentially what you'll end up with. Not quite as skew-iffy as mine.
Joan said it was great to see you on John's show.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was so much fun. So much fun. And so good to see John again this week. Yay.
And Jackie says, do we have the pleasure of Kaylee and Alice this evening? That's a no.
That's a no. I'm so sad. No. So, Kaylee and Alice didn't make it up. So I won't get to see them. So we'll see. They might come up sometime in November. We'll see. Maybe Thanksgiving. We'll see. But yeah, sadly no. So no, not so much Halloween fun as I had hoped.
Well, Halloween's cancelled anyway.
Yeah, well, Michael's being bar humbug
Carol,
about Halloween.
It's not me, it's Boris.
Yeah.
Boris said no.
No Halloween.
Christine.
Hi, Christine. So I will get to it when we just finish tying this guy off. So hopefully everybody found Becky's pattern. Hi, Becky. So if you weren't able to find it, you'd have to join Becky, I'm sorry, you'll have to put your name, the name of the group again on there. It's Becky Alexander Frost's Sewing Help Group, but Rafa Makes is also one sewing help group. But I've put a link on the Facebook page, so if you follow that link, you'll be able to join the group. If not, hopefully Becky will put. Link is knocking all the eyeballs off the table for me, which is really helpful. Becky will put a link to that for you. So if you just join that group, Becky has uploaded a PDF of the pattern. So they've got some instructions. I can't remember if the instructions are on there as well, but there'll be a version of the instructions and all the templates that you need to make the bat. So thank you so much, Becky, for doing that.
Lorraine says it was also lovely to see you with John.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Barbara says hello.
Oh, hi, Barbara.
Carol said she loved the pineapple demo on John's show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Becky has posted.
Thank you, Beck. Thank you, Baffa. Thank you, Becky.
And Diamond says Nicholas Sturgeon also said no to Halloween.
No to Halloween.
I cannot thank her enough. Yes, well.
Yeah, Michael's secretly thinking that. But I do have a few sweets stashed away that if anybody does come to the door,
I was home all late dawn today.
I'll just throw them at them. Anyway.
I've seen a house on YouTube where a guy has done like a zip wire with a box and it goes down to the kids.
See, you can get around it.
That won't happen though. Fiona.
Hi, Fiona.
she also said a great show yesterday with John.
Bless you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad everybody enjoyed that. It was, yeah, so much fun. So much fun. So I've got all my pieces already pre-cut just to save some time.
Speak of the devil, John Scott says, "What on earth is that hat all about?"
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not surprised. John's not a fan. It's not fashion. But it's a bit of fun. It's just for Halloween. Yeah, it might end up with Kaylee. I think she'll probably steal it from me.
Christine says, "Good evening from Glasgow."
Oh,
great show with
Christine.
John.
Thank you, thank you.
Claudia's watching.
Hi, Claudia. So, what
Lori
have I
also
got
loved the
cut?
show with John.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Lorraine loves your top hat.
Thank you.
And so does Amanda.
So, some of the pieces you only need one of. So, this is the main body. You only need one of those. So, I'm going to do mine in grey, which I did mine in grey, same as this.
Fiona says, "No gin tonight."
No gin. I'm just having some leftover. Well, yeah, it is kind of leftover red wine. Fancied it.
Joanne and her mum Maureen are watching.
Oh, hi Joanne. Hi Mum Maureen. So you need 2 fat quarters, one of your main body, which I've used the grey, and one of a contrasting colour, which I've done in purple. Do whatever colours you want, whatever you've got.
Your Sarah's watching.
Oh, hi Sarah.
And Claire says, "Happy Halloween to all."
Oh, happy Halloween. Yay. I love Halloween.
And Diamond says, "I should sort out the treat delivery method. It's very simple at our house. It's if I'm in charge of the door, who's ever the first one there gets it all. Job done."
He doesn't do that. Well, he tries to, and then I say, no, only 1, 2 at the most. He just keeps throwing them in their bags. Anyway, we'll see what happens this year, I mean. Head, you need 2 of them. So I've got 2 of those. On one of them, you need to mark where the eyes are. So all I've done for that is, I had a needle. I just poked a little hole where the eyes are. And then I used my marker. I actually used a permanent marker when I did it because you won't see the holes anyway, but just so I can see where they go. So you only need to do that on one of the head's bits. Let's see, you need 1 base in the contrast.
Christine is watching.
Oh, hi Christine.
Lynn is just calling me the Grinch. And Terry says, "They don't even answer the door. Well done."
Aww.
Stranger danger.
Aww.
And Sandra is watching. And she says, "Happy Halloween."
Happy. So in the pattern you'll get the feet, the ears, the back body, the wings. You need to make sure that, well, there's 2 of each. So that it's the right way, well, the left side and the right side. So if you cut all the pieces out and cut one of everything, then you'll have enough. But what I did was I just kind of cheated. I only cut 1 template out and then I mirrored it, or I folded my fabric in half. So on my back body, I've got 2, as you can see. I do have 2. They need to be mirrored. So I just put my fabric, folded it in half like that, and then did the template like you would clothes.
Your Sarah said she's putting a sign on the door, "Baby is asleep."
Aww.
And Diana has said that she has sat with all the lights out before now.
Aww. Halloween, it's fun. For your ears and your feet, you need to cut 2 of each colour. So if you're using a solid, it doesn't matter because you'll automatically, if you cut 2, you'll automatically be able to reverse them. If you're doing a pattern like this, you do need to make sure that you cut one way and one the other, so you don't end up with 2 that are the same. And the same with the feet. They should mirror each other. So you've got a right one and a left one. Yeah, that matches like that. And then the wings you need 2 of each.
Beverly is watching.
Hi Beverly. Again, so
and
that was
Joanne says it depends on what sort of people knock. Well,
we get nice kids. They're not nice kids around here. They like Halloween. I haven't carved my pumpkin though, which I probably won't now. Okay, so So let me put all this aside. Oh, I'll show you what I've done when I get to the wings on that one. So.
Christine missed the beginning. She asked, what are we making?
Oh, we're making Batty. This is what I made earlier. He's not completely finished yet because I still need to do a little bit of embroidery finishing on him and some sculpting, and his back is still open. But this is Batty. The pattern for Batty, this is a design by Becky Alexander Frost, so Baffa, and she has made the pattern available for free if you join her sewing group. So there's a link on. I've put a link on the Facebook page, Swift Quilting Facebook page. If you follow that and join, there'll be a PDF. She put that on today that you can download and get the pattern. So thank you Becky for that. But this is Batty. It's designed by one of her stepchildren, or her stepchildren. But yeah. So on top of all that, you need 2 rectangles of scrap of anything. You're not going to see this, so whatever colour you want, whatever you got waste. 2.5 by 4.5, and that is going to be filled with rice to give it a little bit of heft.
Becky has posted the list.
Oh, thank you.
And Annette says, do I like Christmas? Her husband doesn't, been married 43 years, and he has never written a card or wrapped a present. I do like Christmas. It's the best holiday.
He does like Christmas, but yeah, he doesn't. We don't go anywhere for Christmas. That is the rule. We stay home for Christmas.
No, we stay home for Christmas. Christmas is at our house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, your brother's watching. She loves the hat.
Well, that's why I went to see. No, John's not a fan, but thank you. Right.
Joanne says, this seems a bit scary to someone who has only done flat patchwork style quilting. Is this very tricky?
There are some tricky bits, I'm not going to lie, but I would definitely persevere with it. So it depends if you're going to want it to be as an actual toy or just as a cute toy. But meaning, are kids going to play with it versus is it just going to, you know, keep you company sort of a thing?
Becky says she hates Christmas.
Oh. Well, it's not really a holiday for a lot of us.
It's a spirit of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not, I mean, I don't get Christmas Day off. So, anyway. I'm just reading the patterns so that I remember exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so first we do the ears. So let me do that first, and then we do the head. So the ears are here, here and here. So you want the right sides together, and then we're going to do all the seam allowances are 1/4 inch, which is a little bit narrow. So it doesn't say in the instructions, but when I've done 1/4 inch seam allowances on things like toys or dolls' clothes or things like that, what I tend to do is reduce the stitch length. So I've reduced the stitch length to 2.
Beverly says she's actually venturing into Christmas card making at the moment.
Pretty.
In between feeding the wolfies.
Nice.
Sandy says she's gotten the pattern from Sewing Quarter when she
was
on.
yeah, when she was on. So the way that I found was the easier way of doing. Oh, I think that would be okay. Of doing it is I start actually at the tip. So thanks, Link.
Sheila says Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. So I'm going to start on one side and then I'm going to go around the other. That'll give me a nice point at the top.
That's just fur.
That's not helpful. So it is slightly rounded, so I'm just taking it easy. I've got my 1/4 inch foot on. And I'm just turning as I sew. I've got it on fast, but it should be on medium speed. So that's one. I'll just do the other. So we'll see. I might, if I don't get through it all tonight in an hour, I will finish it off next week. So don't worry, I will go do the whole thing. I'm not going to rush it. Link, seriously, you're being a pain. So that's one side done. One side done there. Now I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to stitch the other side.
Everybody is saying hi to Link.
He was laying nicely on the sofa, and then as soon as we got ready to start, he's like, "Oh, I need to be there." Right, so that's all sewn together. Get my scissors.
And Karen says cats and Halloween go hand in paw.
That is true. That is true.
We did have a black cat earlier in the garden this afternoon.
So I'm just trimming off the tip at the top and a little bit of the seam allowance so that I've got a nice pointy ear. Not too much because it is still already a 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to snip inside the seam allowance around that slight curve. There. Same on this one. Oh.
Marianne says Link is the twin of her cat.
Oh. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's my little forest cat. Now I'm just going to turn him around. And this is where I've got all these other implements. Knitting needle, I've got my bike tool, because it's helped to turn them around and to stuff as well. So I'm just running my knitting needle along the seam edge so I've got it nice and rounded. There we go. So that's one ear and the other one. Now these we're going to fold over and stitch down. So if we see Batty, his ears are folded. Oops, on the top. There we go. He doesn't look very happy with that face yet. I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to give him teeth. I know on Baffa's she did a little smiley face, but I think I'm going to do teeth, make him slightly ferocious. There we go. Yeah, like that. So they go like that. And then you're going to want to fold, turn a bit, fold about halfway. Just pulling that thread. Put a pin in that. Same on this one, fold it about halfway across. I actually fold mine both to just to the other side of the notch.
Christine says she can't believe how fast the weeks are flying by.
I know! It's like only 2 more months to the end of the year. It's craziness. Then I'm just going to stitch that across the bottom. I'm going to do probably about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance just to keep that in place on both of them. There we go, that's one.
Katie asks if the white 100% cotton is back in stock.
The white solid, I'll have to double check what there is of that, because I haven't had any solids. I'm waiting on a shipment from that particular supplier from where I get my solids from. I'm expecting some of the linen cream from them, and the white and the ebony, because they're so popular, are also on back order. So I have to double check, but I'm not entirely sure at the minute. I might still be waiting for them.
George Sarah asked, did you have fun with John this week?
Oh, yeah.
Pick looked like you did.
Yes, definitely. So those are my ears.
And Annette says she loves the purple and grey together.
Oh, thanks, yeah. Can't be a bit of purple and grey. Purple for Halloween.
Grey is a very comforting colour.
That's practically Michael's favourite colour.
No, green is. Grey is a very comforting colour.
I don't know. Apparently, yeah. Oh, a head. These are my head bits. First thing I need to do for my head bits is there's a little dart at the top. So I'm just folding that across so that my raw edges are aligned. And then I'm going to sew. Oh, make sure that my head bits are aligned as well.
Hunter green, not grass green. Dark green.
I'm just going to do a little back stitch there. Now this can be a little bit tricky because you're going to sew, I'm using my 1/4 inch foot, but you're going to sew a little bit past where the raw edge is, if that makes sense. So you just have to keep it fairly straight. And then I'll move that back. Do a little back stitch there. There we go, that's one. I'll do this one as well. I find if you start from sewing it from this end and go that way to the dart, I find it's a little bit easier than starting at the dart end and going up.
And Sheila says she was due to be meeting her son in Salem, Boston today, ready for Halloween. So disappointed.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Actually, I've been thinking about, there's a really good Halloween, well, there's quite a few good Halloween ones, but there was a Halloween movie made when we lived in Oregon. Remember? I can't remember the name of it, but it had Debbie Reynolds was in it. Don't you remember? They filmed it.
Why would I watch a scary film?
It's not scary. It was a sweet Halloween film, like Hocus Pocus. Kaylee would know. If Kaylee was watching, she'd remember what it was called.
Joanne also agrees grey is calming and complimentary. It's an underrated colour. Colour with a U. Color.
Yes. Those are my head bits. Just like that. Now I'm going to want to put my eyes in. So those are my eyes. I'm just going to snip. Do a tiny, tiny snip. Tiny little hole so I can put my eyes through. Literally, I don't know if you can see, you might be able to see my nail underneath that. It's tiny. Because when you put the eyes through, and I've got safety eyes, because they left from Link. Oh, and a little bit of wadding. Now Becky says to do them in circles, but I was kind of lazy, so I've just done squares. And this is to go inside the head, behind the eye, to reinforce a little bit so it doesn't come through the fabric. So I'm putting my safety eyes through. There we go. Put my bit of wadding over it.
Oh, it's like one of those like anchors, isn't it? Anchor in the wall.
Yeah. Then you get a little, it depends on how they are, but I've got a little washer that goes over the back.
Amanda says she now needs to go and buy some soft fabric to make bats with. Paula says she loves your hat.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
And yours, Sarah, says, we watched the new Witches film today to get into the spirit.
Was it good? I love the old one. I love the book. I don't know if you were in our class. I remember Mrs. Black read us The Witches, but she didn't finish it, which was really annoying. But I do remember reading The Witches in Mrs. Black's class, even though I didn't like Mrs. Black.
Amanda says bad influence.
You know it. There we go. So that's how it looks on the back. This is how it looks on the front. There we go. Just like that. Now, we need to baste in place our ears. So I'm going to match up the notches of the ears. Put a little pin there. Put a little pin there. Do the same on this side. Just like that. Just like that. And I'm just going to sew those ears onto the front of the head just to keep them in place. So again, I've done just about a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance on this, because you want it to be nicely buried inside the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, so you don't see your stitching on the other side.
Sarah says it's okay, bit scary for Billy as there are mouths ripped open.
Oh, I don't remember anything scary in the old one. With
Marion asks, are the eyes marked on the pattern?
They are marked. Where's my head bit? Under here. Oops. There we go. So that's the head, and then just mark where the eyes. You only need to mark the eyes on your fabric on one side of the head. So I haven't marked it. This is the back side of my head. I haven't marked it on there. There we go, just like that. So I'll show you what I've done. So that's just sort of, it's not basted because I didn't use a big stitch, but it's sewn onto the top. So there's my ears so they stay in place. Now I'm going to put those both aside for now, and we're going to do the body. I'm pretty sure that's what we do next. We just look at my pattern just to remember. Oh, no, we do the wings next. Okay, wings next. Good. Okay.
Christine says she likes your nail varnish. It looks the same color as a Scandinavian jumper I saw today.
Oh, that would be nice. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah did my nails. So the wings. So I've done one already because for time, really. But what you need to do on the wings, Becky has made a pattern for the arm, basically, and then the little skeleton, the little fingers that come out. So I want to make sure that I'm going to mark it the right way. So all I did was I just cut those lines out to make a stencil, because I couldn't think of any other way of marking it on the fabric. I suppose if you've got a paler fabric and you could see through it, you might want to do it, just trace it through. But I've got a friction pen, and I'm just going to mark. And you're gonna, as you can see, this is where you're going to stitch to make the fingers, and the top part of the arm we're going to stuff. And you don't have to use a friction pen, you can use a water soluble pencil, just as long as you can see it long enough to stitch over it, basically. Right, So I'm just gonna extend that a little bit so I can see where I'm going.
The marks are there. It's hard to pick up on the camera.
It is hard. It's hard to see actually, but it's enough that I will be able to follow it when I'm stitching them.
Oh, your mum is watching.
Hello, Mum. There we go. So yeah, you might not be able to see it, but my marks are lined. Lines are marked. Now that's on the right side of the fabric. So I'm going to put the right side together. And then I'm going to stitch them all the way around. Just put a little pin on that. Go wine. So I find the easiest way to stitch these is to start at the open. So you're going to leave this part open, just like I did with the ears. I didn't stitch across there. So you leave that part open and you're only going to sew around the edge. So I start here. So do a little back stitch because this bit is going to be stuffed.
Diamond asks, pins, Emma, are you starting to go over to the dark side?
You do need pins on some of this, I will admit.
Pins on every week I've been here. And the amount I find on the floor, in the hallways.
So it's curved, so I'm just following the curve. And when I get to this point, I'm going to just stitch right across the end. Just like I did with the ears. I'll cut that. And then I find if I do each sort of, I guess, scallop of the wing individually, it tends to be a little bit neater rather than trying to fight turning it two different directions.
Joanne asked, no glue gun this week?
No glue gun this week. I think I did enough damage last week with that. Although you could, if you didn't want to use safety eyes, if you just wanted to, you can either stitch them on or you can glue some buttons on. I do have safety eyes in the shop if you need them. And stuffing.
Laurie says I should walk around with a magnet hanging off so I can collect the pins. That's what feet are for, I thought.
That's what feet are for. That might be that last seam allowance will be a bit scant. I'm going to leave it like that because the bottom part isn't going to get that much stress. So I'm going to leave that as it is. There we go. And then last bit. Last little bit. There we go. So that's what it looks like. Just like that. And then I'm going to trim, not trim, but I do actually trim the ends there.
Joanne says she used the wool pressing mat from you this week.
Oh,
it's totally nice. Amazing. I can't recommend them enough.
Oh, yes.
Much better than my heat reflecting ironing board cover.
I love it. And it's so handy. I just love that size because you can just have it next to your sewing machine. And actually, when I used it to do the pineapples and I used it to pin, and because you can pin straight into it really easily, it really helped.
The cat's like it as well.
Yeah. The cats do. Yeah, I do warn you, if you do have cats, you might lose it as a cat bed. go. Right. Turn it around. This is a little bit fiddly because you've got a small opening. So I'm just going to gently ease it through because you've only got a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, so don't be too rough with your bits.
Joanne says she does FPP and pinning to stop me losing little pieces.
Yeah, perfect. I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the ears. I'm just going to put my needle into those corners and then run it along so that I get all those.
Diamond said her son refuses to wear anything on his feet in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped a pin in my workroom today and asked him to come in and find it for me. Bless him.
That's what Michael has to do. Was it the cross between Where's Waldo and the floor is lava?
Hmm.
There we go. That's my arm. I'm not going to press it because it's friction. I'll lose my lines. So I'm just going to stitch on top of my lines. And the way I found easy so you don't have too many threads. Oh, change my foot. Is I'm just going to do it all in one. Oops. So I start at this edge, start with my arm. I do recommend doing a little back stitch on this bit because you're going to stuff the top part, and so a little bit of stability is helpful to reinforce it. So I'm going to go to there, and then I'm going to come back to where my fingers start coming out. There we go.
And Ursula says, glad I didn't see them mats when she was at your shop. I wanted enough of all fabrics. It's like being in a sweetie shop.
Mm-hmm. To that corner. Now I just return back. You don't have to do it double like I'm doing it. I'm just being lazy because I don't want to have to faff about with tie off, basically. Now comes a little bit of a tricky part, because now we need to stuff the top part of the wings, just like this is. So you can see that I've got some stuffing all along the top, but it's narrow, so this is where all of these little tools come in. So I find for the bit at the bottom, if you just do a little bit at a time to get it into that tip, so just need to get it into that channel. This is where a flathead screwdriver I found works really well to push that in. Needle is a little bit too pointy. I'm just pushing that in. I think I might have added a little bit too much because it gets stuck, because it's quite a narrow channel. So a little bit at a time is better to start off with. Right, let's see my needle. There we go. It's starting to go down. There we go. There we go. Get it all the way down to the bottom. I use my Phillips screwdriver.
Christine says the design on the wedding ring reminds me of a Tudor rose. It is a Tudor rose.
It is, it is. Thank you. So that is our compromise, because Michael likes history and I like flowers. So that was the design that we decided.
Well, that's not 100% accurate, but because the original rings we are going for, they didn't have. Remember?
What were we going for? I don't remember.
That's all right. I remember. Karen says, could you put a pipe cleaner down the channel instead? Then you could shape it.
Oh yeah, that would be a really good idea. You could do a bit of both. Put pipe cleaner down and a little bit of wadding to make it poofy. But yeah, that would be really handy, because then yeah, you could totally just shape his arms. Great idea. Blink. Okay, I think you guys get the idea. The arms are a little bit fiddly to stuff. I might just get this bit in and then move on to the next, because I think we're going to have to finish up next week. So I'll show you what we can do now.
Becky says she wants Link the cat.
He is a good boy. You're a good boy, aren't you, Link? Except at 5 o'clock in the morning, when he wants his breakfast.
Which makes no sense, because there's food in the bowl anyway. He just...
Nobody told them we put the clocks back.
Yes. Carol says, or silicon airline tubing for fish tanks would work as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only know what that is because I did used to have a fish tank ages and ages ago. Freshwater fish. Okay. We have to work on that, but that's general idea. So those are the, do that with both arms, both wings. Thanks, Link. Oh, now I think we do the body. Put my instructions. No, make the feet. I'm getting ahead of myself. I just really want to get to the body, I guess. Okay. Now the feet we do the same, well, similar to what we did with the ears. So there we go, right sides together. One of mine is a solid, so it doesn't matter, but if you've got two printed ones, make sure you put both right sides together. I'm going to change my foot again.
Lori says give Link a cuddle for her. We'll do.
Oh yeah. I know I dropped it. Aha. There it is. Now this part, again, you leave the bit where the notch is, you leave that completely unsewn, and you just go around the edge. Do the back stitch.
Christine says her Labrador doesn't know about the clock change either.
Yeah, because they still want to go for their walkies at the same time. Still want their breakfast at the same time.
It's funny, they know all that time, but they can't figure out differentiate between a weekday and a weekend.
That's one. Just do the other. Oh, it doesn't matter. We get up at the same time at the weekend anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it'd be nice to have the option. What's irritating, they get us up and then they go back to bed for the next 12 hours.
Was it Smokey that used to like to wake up? Because he used to wake us up. So when he was sleeping during the day, I used to like to wake him up.
Yes.
Get around back.
Yes.
There we go. Just like that. So that's 2 feet. Just need to snip him around.
Amanda says either that or they had a mad half hour herring around the house. That's about it, a half hour.
Yeah. Oi! It's my thimble. I'm doing them quite close together. Ooh. I don't know if it helps much, but I think it makes it a little bit rounder that way. Hello, Link. Hello, my boy. Yeah. Mama's baby.
Diamond says I should know that time is relative. That is true. And Christine says it looks very strange now you are following the notches on a pattern.
There.
And Julie asks, can you just use pink?
Pink? Pinking shears?
It just says pink.
Yeah, you could pink around the outside. If you use pinking shears, you mean?
I don't know the code words. Yes, Julie says pinking shears instead of snipping.
Yeah, you could do that. Just be careful. On the feet, you can get away with that, but on some of the other body parts, because you don't want to cut too much into your seam allowance. You'd want to cut a little bit into your seam allowance if you're using pinking shears, but don't compromise it too much. foot. And the other one. Now we're going to stuff those a little bit. And one thing I learned with making the first Batty, do not overstuff your arms or your feet because it will be problematic to sew the whole body together later on. Listen to me now and believe me later. Actually, this would be a good project to do with little children's because you could take advantage of their little hands to turn these little fiddly bits around for you. There we go. 2 feet. 2 feet. Now I need to put some stuffing in there. How's it? Got time. If you've got a wooden skewer, the blunt end of a wooden skewer, that helps a lot to stuff this in.
Christine asks, can you buy small pinking scissors? Mine are rather big and bulky.
I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think they only come in the one size, which are mahoosive, big ones. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
And Becky says, I did it with my kids as they designed it.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. It's like you designed it, you turn that thing around. Good call. I do want to get at least 1 foot stuffed because I want to show the toes, how you make the toes. I did it last on that one, which I still need to do, but it's easier if you do it before you attach the feet.
And Diana says, are you going on Sewing Street or have I imagined it?
Oh, good question. Yes, I am. I am going to be on Sewing Street on the 11th of November. I'll be doing, if you remember from last year, the Bargello, the Cityscape Bargello, the snowflakes, the blue and, well, all kinds of shades of blue and white and snowflakes, and they've got an updated version of it as well, which would be really nice.
And Annette asked, do you know if Becky has a pattern for a dinosaur?
Oh, I don't know. Becky, if Becky's watching, she'll be able to tell you. Joe Carter might have one. Or am I thinking dragon? I can't remember.
Your Sarah asks, is Kaylee and Alice up this weekend? No, that is not. That's negative.
Sadly, no.
And Diamond says, the best pinking shears, Emma, on her second pair of Fiskars.
Oh, yeah, I love Fiskars.
They are not as good as the first pair, which were 20 years old.
Oh, okay.
And Joanne says you can get pinking blades for rotary cutters
yes.
in the standard 45mm size. I think you might be able to get them for 28mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could do that, definitely.
And Becky has responded that, well, Eddie is coming out with a dinosaur costume, Annette Jasper.
Oh.
Oh, to Annette Jasper. Yeah, sorry.
It just seems to want to fight, not going in. It's like, no, I don't want to go in. Let me try. Screwdriver. Has a bit more purchase on it. There we go. There we go.
There's the pin in.
Yeah, no. Screwdriver. Screwdriver works. That's right. You do need a few different poking tools to see what's going to work best. go.
That's what I thought the rice was going to be for.
No, the rice is for, well, rice will be for next week now. But it's too...
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. We'll be using rice next week. There we go. So it's, you don't overstuff it. You want it to be nice and flat where the raw edge is, because you're going to want to sew that, and then that's my little toe. Now, donde está? My string. So I'm just going to use...
Wait.
What's he doing?
It's easy eating Monty's food.
Oh, wow.
And Lori says she thinks Joe Carter may have a dinosaur pattern.
I think Joe Carter might have one. I'm just going to put a knot in the bottom of my string. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to go into the middle. Up. Roughly where I kind of want my toe. It's a little bit of a Bob Ross adaptation. However you want your Batty to look like, that's what it will look like. There's no rules. I'm going to do a couple because I want to. So I've done one. I'm going to do 2 strands across, and now I'm moving my needle straight across so I can get to the other toe. So hold that tight. There we go. And then do 2 strands straight over. One more. And pull it up.
Judith says she has just looked on Joe Carter's web page. Sadly, no dinosaur pattern.
Oh.
Surely someone has to have one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to leave that loose. That's going to be stitched over. Just like that. My little toe. So that is going to be my left hand toe. Okay. Now we do the body. Okay. So you've got the body, it looks like a pair of trousers. That bit in the middle is the dart. So I'm going to sew that dart up just like I did with the head.
You're serious to ask how many toes does a bat have?
I don't know, but I know how they wee. You remember?
Yes, of course. How can I forget?
Okay, you got to tell the story.
No, you tell me.
Well, when Kaylee was probably about 5, we took her to the Oregon Zoo. And we saw the bats, and the bats were all hanging up as they were on their little wire thing on off the ceiling.
Upside down.
Upside down, so hanging upside down. And then there's this one bat that started to manoeuvre a little bit. And he manoeuvred himself. They were behind glass. And so we could see him. We were watching for about 5 minutes, manoeuvring, you know, going from upside down to hanging right side up. And he was hanging right side up. He'd finally manoeuvred himself, so he was hanging right side up, right in front of us. And then he started weeing. Like, oh, that's how they do it. That answers a lot of questions. You had to be there. It was pretty funny.
Amanda has put the link for a dinosaur and
you.
Loch Ness.
Oh, Nessie. Nice.
Pattern.
Thank you. Okay, so that's my dart. I'm just going to press the centre open. Finger press it. Just like that. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to do tonight. We'll finish him up next week. But what you want to do with your feet is the same thing we did with the ears. So that is my left one. So I'm going to match up the notches and I'm going to baste across it. So this is why it pays not to overstuff the feet. There we go. And you want to make sure that you've got your right side, so your contrasting one, facing towards your body so that you can see it when he stands up. Yeah, I'm just going to sew across about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance just to keep him in place there.
Allison is watching.
Oh, hi Alison. There. And then I'll do the other foot, and I will do the same thing. So I will finish that one up and I'll put it onto there, and I will stuff my arms, and that is as much as I will do between now and next week. So then we can sew. I'll show you how to finish off the head, attaching the head to the body, and then sewing him all together with the bottom and stuffing him. Yeah, so I won't go any further than that. I'll just finish up the little bits that I've done so that you can see next week how to finish them up. Or so, unless there's really eager, when you get the pattern, you probably have them finished before me by next week. But if you want to do it with me, I'll finish them up next week. So, thanks for joining. Hope you've enjoyed that. Sorry for the cliffhanger, but we'll finish Batty up next week. And yeah, have a good weekend, and thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Night all.